Hello there, Sir from 17 once again, introducing you to Chapter 14, sorry, I don't know where 20 came from, Jesus Christ, I'm tired. Anyhow, Chapter 14 of my Human Revolution, Give Me Deus Ex difficulty video walkthrough. And this is the hardest level on the game, in my opinion. It's entitled Harvesting Hope, and it's in 3 pieces, with one of those being a boss fight. The reason why this level is challenging, in my opinion, is because at the very start of it you do not have a waypoint, and this is easily the largest area that you've ever stealthed through, because there are courtyards, there are wide expanses of terrain filled with cargo crates and barrels, there are individual buildings littered around, some are grand, bases with laboratories in them, with offices in them, with secret sub-basements, others are smaller, with just offices and various different things, and we're looking for 3 scientists, and the game doesn't tell you where the 3 scientists are until you've found them, so it's a case of I was in like a little shade of despair when I was playing originally, because I didn't know where I was going, and it's disheartening following an X for the entire game and then for them to take it off you. It just kind of kicked me. I didn't realise how much I relied on it until it wasn't there. And the reason why I was sitting waiting at the dumpster just then was because I didn't have the strength to move it. Because, believe it or not, the ability to pick things up is indicative of your energy bar. And right now this is a new path for me, so I'm trying to jump over the gate, and you can't actually do it, but to your left is a window that you can open. And if you open it, you can sneak into the cabin and you can get round this area with very little ease. So there you go, open the window, get in here, search the lockers, utilise the fact that you can see through the door to see guards' patrol routes, see the Take Piss Final Fantasy poster on the wall, which is predicting quite a prosperous future for Final Fantasy, or just stubborn Japanese development, and then you can continue onwards. But the reason why this is easily the hardest section of the game for me and for this guide is because the first time I played it, I'd done all the side quests that I could physically find, I was kitted out with all sorts of different abilities, and I could hack. And there is a lot of doorways you can open if your ability to hack is high, and my ability to hack on this is still level 1, so I am forced to upgrade it later on in this video to get where I need to be, because I didn't know an alternative path. I'd not played it a different way. So that right then is just the decontamination area. That is not an alarm or a klaxon, even though it looks more like an alarm than the alarms do. So do not worry, do not despair. It'll shit you up the first time, but it'll never get you again. And you are now entering the difficult areas to stealth, because what these are is, this is a facility that has about 3 to 4 tiers, and each tier is filled with patrolling soldiers, cameras, and locked doors. I do apologise as well if my voice sounds a little bit raspy, but this is like the 20th commentary I've done in a row, and no amount of water right now is soothing my voice whatsoever. I've been talking for the best part of 7 hours, or something ridiculous like that, and I'm getting sick and fed up of my own voice, so I do feel for you if I'm not the nicest sounding commentator you've ever heard. But sneaking through this area is not too difficult once you get the pattern down. Coming into the outer areas, there's generally only about 2 guards, but they can be Your best friend in this section is actually saving, because this game utilises a very PC-inspired quick save feature, which is not the quickest of saving, unlike the PC versions, but when you go to the menu and you select save, it will save from exactly where you are, just like it does in a lot of the older games and a lot of PC games. So you can utilise this ability, and that way you're not relying on the checkpoints and you don't get screwed over. But on this first floor, I do believe there's 1 scientist that you need to find, and there's also I think it's better to get to it on the 2nd floor. It's either the 1st or the 2nd floor, because 1 floor has a lift that is disguised extremely well, but if you can hack your way into the room, the lift will take you between the floors, and it saves a lot of time. You're not going to see me use it though until after I've found the scientist, because, as I've mentioned, my hacking ability is completely different to what it was when I first played, so a lot of this is improvised just through, playing the game and knowing that this area is a bastard. So I do apologise if this is not as swift or as assuring as some of the other videos have been, but if you watch it, you will get through, you will not set off any alarms, and you will get the pacifism achievement as well, because we will not be killing people. But here, these two guys have a lovely chinwag, and then they both go opposite ways. The only reason this is challenging is because I only have one battery, there's a camera, and I didn't at the moment know these guys as pattern, but that guy behind me goes and sits on the chair. This guy stands in this corridor, and I think he props himself up against the wall later on, and that room right there is where I need to be. That's a room I need to go in, but as I've said, I cannot hack quickly or efficiently, and that camera will see me. So immediately now I'm thinking, God damn it, I've got to do something different because it's just not going to work the way I originally did it. That skywalk there, leads to another one of the scientists. There's two scientists in this building that I'm in now. There's one over that skywalk, and the skywalk is on the second floor if anybody doesn't know this. Which is good to know because this place can be confusing. It all looks very similar. That's a level 4 hack, and I do not stand one heck of a chance of even getting into that thing, so there's no point, and that's why I've moved away. And I'm just thinking now, I'm thinking, my mind's turning and turning, I'm deliberating, I'm proselytizing. I don't know how I'm going to approach this because I can't think. I just can't. And I do believe that it's the lift. That door there is the lift that takes you between the levels and makes this section easy, and I can't use it purely because of that fact. So I have to do it in a slightly more difficult way, which is walking around like a moron for quite some time until I find where I'm supposed to be. So do enjoy this video. It's 24 minutes long. It is the longest video. That's the level 4 door. And this is the guy that sits in the chair, so he's going to stand there for a couple seconds. There he just sat down. You want to be saving. If you don't save, you're going to get yourself in a whole bunch of trouble, and the checkpoints are not kind whatsoever. That is a pain in the ass. However I did not get seen then, I don't know, because sometimes when you're moving the cover to change the camera angle, he sticks his bloody head out. And I don't know about you guys, but the very first day of spy school, there's probably giant letters on the board, do not stick your head out in front of the enemy. That is the one thing they do not want you to do. But here I go anyhow, biting the bullet, finally upgrading my hacking because I've had enough of the bullshit that is not being able to hack anything. And hacking without the stealth features is really hard. Almost every hack that's 2 and 3 sets the alarm off. It's just bullshit. So I end up using the Pacifist kits to hack the doors, and then I find out I can't even hack the goddamn doors. So I put myself into a real catch-22 decision here, and I don't think I do this because 3 is far too long, I believe. Let me see, do I do it? God, this is close. Goodness me, that's about as close as it gets, but luckily enough, lo and behold, our first scientist is here. And she's not happy to see us because she doesn't recognize us. Thank you, you ignorant bitch. I was security on your old job, goddamn you.
I know you. You were Sarah.
There she goes, she remembers me now. But I'm skipping everything that Adam says, if you're wondering why he's not saying anything. I'm bashing X.
And now you're here to take me back.
Apparently not anymore. I do think I skipped this cutscene because it lasts for a while. There we go. Nice lovely silent discussion. And what's going to happen is we have to find all 3 of the doctors. We now have an idea where they might be because she tells you. And once you've found all 3 of them, you have to then go to a separate area because Megan's been held somewhere else. But we'll get to that when that bridge turns up. So from now, I know that we've got this lady on the 2nd floor, there's now a scientist on the bottom floor, and you need to use a guard and an electric fence that we've been using through the game. The whole use the guard to get through the wires, to get through the lasers, sorry, and then open the door. And that's what we're going to be doing next. So, but yeah, I did not enjoy this part of the game. And the main reason for that is I start games on the hardest difficulty available for you. And believe it or not, starting on the hardest difficulty is a challenge on more ways than one. The biggest challenge is the fact that you don't have the gentle learning curve that the game gives you. You don't have the 10 to 15 hours of learning the mechanics and smooth sailing and learning how to exploit them. On the hardest difficulty, from point 1, from the very first minute, something's trying to take a big fat shit on your chest, and the only way to stop that from happening is to get good at the game. And if anybody's watching this video and thinking, whoa, I wish I was this good at X or Z or any of the videos on YouTube, not just mine, I'm not trying to big myself up or anything, the way to do it is to challenge yourself, because if you get a game and you put it on its easiest difficulty and you put all cheats in and you just absolutely shitstorm through everything and you don't get any challenge, you will never become a better gamer. You will forever be the exact same level of of quality and of skill and expertise as you were when you started. And it's all because you didn't push yourself. It's like the expression that Joe Rogan uses in the UFC a lot when he's commentating, and he's on about how better people get better, get better at fighting by fighting other people, and the expression is iron sharpens iron, or steel sharpens steel, or something like that. Iron sharpens iron, I think. And that's how it works. If you raise the bar of what's expected of you, you have to raise to the occasion. Raise, that's such bad English. You have to rise to the occasion, and that is what will eventually make you a lot better at these kind of games. And if you don't challenge yourself, what are you really getting from it aside from enjoyment? And I mean, enjoyment is a big thing, but if it's not benefiting you at what you're passionate at doing, to me, it seems kind of pointless. And that might seem really clinical and really sad, but it's just how I function. When I enjoy something and when I get passionate about something, I want to be the best. And I want to prove that I can do things that I don't think I can do. Or if a game has a massive challenge and everyone's saying it's stupidly difficult, I want to do it just to prove everybody wrong. And that's just my personality. That's just the mentality that I approach a lot of problems with in life, because it's who I am, and it's a pride thing. It's my pride, really. And thus these guys exist, and that's why they're here, because I wanted to help people who are less equipped to deal with some of the situations in the games, and hopefully that's what they do. But the reason why I went off on that massive tangent is because for the last few minutes I've been walking around this place trying to remember where the next bloody bastard is. But he's over here, he's in this corner, and what happens is, as soon as he neutralizes the lasers, you have to go through the door to my left. And I don't realise this right now. I'm using the lasers, I'm going left and right. I'm like, where is this scientist? What am I doing? And did you see that? I shit my pants, and that's why I paused, because the camera can see me and I don't have any energy to go into invisibility. So I use an item, I go into cloak, and I get out of the way of the camera. And that's the reason why I've left the pause in. I would normally edit it out, but it shows the panic. I didn't know what to do, and it was hilarious at the time because I was full on my sphincter was tight. You could have pushed a piece of coal up there and I'd have probably crapped out a diamond. It was just that tense. It was amazing. But this is the next scientist. No, it's not, sorry, this is the civilian that makes me think it's the next bloody scientist. It's back through the lasers. This is not where we need to be. But I'm reading emails, I'm talking to dudes, I'm having fun, that's all that matters. But yeah, you need to go back through the lasers with the help of the guard, go under the security camera and open the door. That is where the next scientist is, and then the scientist after this one is easy. So this is the last challenge of the level. Everything else from here on out is very simple, very easy, very mundane. But this is the first maybe 17 minutes of this video, probably the weakest part of the guide, just because I had to improvise a lot and I didn't really know what I was playing with. Because I'd never done it before, and as anybody knows, if you're not too sure, if you're not too confident, you're nowhere near as gifted, you're nowhere near as good at doing what you're trying to do. And that's why I'm going these ridiculous tangent ways around this map instead of going back to where I know I'm supposed to go, because I'm just not thinking. It's like, I went through the lasers were there for a reason, how have I not figured this out yet? It's like, come on dude, you did it the day before. So I come back up here because I know he's on this floor, I know he's here, I just can't remember where. And lo and behold, I'm thinking, there's a door there. And that's the only other possible place it could be. So the lasers go down, I use my cloak, I'm straight in, and like a bolt of thunder from the beard of Zeus, I'm where I need to be. And that right there in front of me is the elevator that I mentioned that would make this section very easy, because you can use it directly outside of the Black Lady's lab to come down directly into his lab, and you'll get two at the same time. But as I mentioned, I couldn't hack the wall, so I couldn't do it. But you'll be talking to this shifty bastard for a couple of minutes, and he's going to say pretty much the same thing as the last lady. You can ask him any questions, or you can just leave. You're not going to get a waypoint until you deactivate the jammer, and you can only deactivate the jammer if you go all the way to the area that you're supposed to go after you've found all three scientists. And there's no real point in doing that until you've found the scientists, so just grin and bear it, and follow this guide, because you will find them.
Sit tight, Dr. Cross. When you feel a vibration from your GPO,
okay, Clint.
Set off that distraction.
Whatever you say, Clint.
I will.
We love you, Clint.
Good luck, Mr. Jensen. And hurry.
It reminds me of a gamer tag that I've made on my PS3, because as anybody knows, the PlayStation Network is free unless you want to get that ridiculous fucking PlayStation Plus that I think they give you a candle for your birthday, a stick of rock, and a slapped ass, because there don't seem to be anything worthwhile on that system whatsoever when it comes to a lot of things. And I know people will disagree because everybody hates anybody who bangs on about the PS3, but show me fucking games, Sony. I don't want home, I don't want move, I want games, and you just don't have them right now. But getting back to the point, I've got a gamer tag on there that I've created because it's free and I really wanted it because I thought it was funny. So I created an email address and I created the name, and all I did was add a B to a name that already exists. And if you're wondering, it's probably self-explanatory now, and I hope you figured it out from when I've just been referencing, but the name is Clint Beastwood. And for whatever reason, I was in a funny mood when I made it, so every time I said it, it made me laugh. But yeah, I am a retard, and I do think that's funny. Fucking Clint Beastwood. But what you need to do now is, the last scientist is across the skywalk. But this is the end of the first part of chapter 14, so I will see you in the second, where I run around like a headless chicken because I don't even notice a hackable sensor on the wall. So look forward to that, and as always, you take care now.